What's up, nerds? Welcome back to Real Reserve, where we talk about all things related to movies and physical media. In today's video, I've got some more awesome pickups to show you, so grab yourself a coffee and let's get into it. And first up on Blu-ray, we've got Clown in the Cornfield. So this one's based off of the novel written by Adam Cesar, which is a book that I actually really enjoyed. I'm happy to see Adam getting the success that he deserves on this one. I think it's a really cool concept and a cool story overall. I watched this one the first day that I got it, and I thought it was pretty good. It was shot beautifully, it had some nice sound design, the characters looked pretty cool. It deviated just a bit from the original story, which is to be expected. Overall, I really enjoyed this one, glad to have it in the collection, and it's one that I'll be watching again sometime in the future. Next up on Blu-ray, we've got Midsommar. I know I typically give high praises for A24 films on this channel, but to be completely honest with you, I've got mixed feelings on this one. Overall, I thought this was a really good movie. It was shot well. Again, it had great sound design, but I just can't get over the fact that this is so similar to The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage, and in my opinion, it felt like I was watching a movie that I've already seen before. I know Nicolas Cage's Wicker Man is not a very popular movie, but I felt like that one just had a lot more suspense. Within the first 15 or 20 minutes of this movie, I knew exactly where it was going to go. Again, it was executed well. It's just the story seemed a little bit too familiar. Even down to the ending, this is just The Wicker Man. And next up on VHS, we've got Saving Silverman. I often say in other videos that there are certain movies that I would rather have on VHS tape, and Saving Silverman is going to be one of those movies. I've been looking for this one on the cheap for quite some time. I stopped in at my local Goodwill about a week ago and found this copy that's pretty clean. I watched this one a few days after I picked it up, and in my opinion, it still holds up. I still thought that it was funny. Maybe not as much as I did whenever I was 13, but still a good movie to have. Next up, sealed on 4K Steelbook, we've got The Crow remake starring Bill Skarsgård. I was able to pick this one up sealed on Whatnot for $4. This one comes from Froggy Toys. If you're a physical media collector and you're looking for awesome deals on sealed and used physical media, definitely check out Froggy Toys over on Whatnot. He does incredible shows with tons of inventory and great prices. I know this one bombed whenever it was first released in theaters, and I honestly don't have very high hopes for it. I really like the original with Brandon Lee, but for $4 on a Steelbook, I've got to take it. I'm willing to put that bias aside to give this one a fair shot. Next up on Blu-ray Steelbook, we've got the Walmart exclusive release of Diary of the Dead. I have no idea if this one's going to be any good, although I do tend to like George Romero's stuff. If you like this movie or if you've seen it before, let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below. Again, $3 on a Steelbook is coming with me. Next up, we've got an early birthday present for my girlfriend. Shout out to Catherine. And this is the Warner Brothers 4K Steelbook release of Nightmare on Elm Street. I believe this is the same Steelbook that comes in the large set that has all the films. That's pretty much all I've seen on my YouTube and TikTok feed for the last couple of days, is people getting their copies and showing them off, or complaining that the pre-orders have been released. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think Warner Bros. Has really dropped the ball on this one with not producing enough copies. With that said, I think this is a very attractive looking Steelbook. I've seen some people talking about the desaturated tones on the front. I don't really mind it. In fact, I kind of like it. Here's the back. And the discs inside. I'll pop these discs out and we'll take a look at the artwork on the inside. And there you go, that's the full artwork on the inside. It also comes with a certificate of authenticity and a cool bundle of things such as a poster, art book, etc. Overall, I think this is a really cool release, and embarrassingly enough, I had never seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I guess that one just missed me whenever I was growing up as a kid. I do have a DVD copy of this, and for some reason that copy looks absolutely terrible. So I've tried to watch it in the past, but I just couldn't make it through that version. With that said, I did give this one a watch on 4K, and I really enjoyed it. I could definitely see why so many people love the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise and the great performance of Robert Englund. I'm excited to have this one on 4K and to be able to pop this bad boy up on the shelf to display. If you're a big fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, let me know down in the comments below. Did you pick up the individual Steelbook, or did you pick up the full box set? Next up on Blu-ray, we've got Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown. This is actually one of the Quentin Tarantino films that I haven't seen. A friend of mine said that this is his favorite Quentin Tarantino movie of all time. And I recently discovered that my girlfriend really likes Quentin Tarantino movies, so we've been going through his catalog and binge watching those whenever we get the chance. I found this one on sale on Amazon for a pretty good deal, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. I haven't had the chance to watch this one yet, but it's definitely on the list of movies to watch soon. Next up, we've got two comedy classics on Blu-ray, and those are Clerks 1 and 2. Up until this point, I haven't seen either of these two movies. I've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and I really enjoyed that. I think the characters Jay and Silent Bob are absolutely hilarious. I found both of these on Amazon pretty cheap. I think they were $7 or $8, so I went ahead and picked them both up. I watched Clerks 2 a few days after it came in the mail, and I really enjoyed this one. I haven't had a chance to watch the first one yet, but one thing that surprised me, and something that I wasn't aware of, is that Jay and Silent Bob are actually side characters in this movie. I guess the name Clerks should give that away, but I was completely oblivious to that. I guess I thought that they had a larger role in the movie, but with that said, I can definitely see why they grew into being such popular characters. Next up on Blu-ray, we've got another comedy classic, and that is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring John Candy and Steve Martin. I currently have this one on DVD, and it's one of those movies, like several others that I've mentioned on the channel, that I've watched probably 30 or 40 times, if not more. I tend to watch this one around Thanksgiving every year, which is coming up here pretty soon. So in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be time to give this one a watch again. There are too many iconic and hilarious scenes in this movie to count, but when it comes to movies that are based around holidays, I think this one is one of my favorites. Next up on 4K Blu-ray, we've got Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange. I was also able to pick this one up for a pretty good deal on Amazon. I think this was 10 or 11 bucks. Again, this is another one that I haven't seen before, but I've heard a lot of people talk about this online, primarily having to do with how weird it is. I'm happy to scoop this one up on the cheap on Amazon on 4K and give it a watch and see what all the hype is about. Next up, and newly released on Blu-ray, we've got Weapons. I've seen a lot of people say that in their opinion, Weapons is the best horror release of 2025, and while I don't completely agree with that statement, I still think that this is a very strong horror movie. I still think that Bring Her Back from A24 slightly beats this one out for best horror movie of 2025, but the two movies are creepy in completely different ways. I watched this one pretty late at night, and I can honestly say I was not prepared mentally for essentially jump scare city. There were several times where it felt like the jump scares were happening almost back to back with very few minutes between, and that's something that I really enjoyed about this one. There were great performances from the entire cast throughout the film, and in my opinion, this is a very strong release. And last up from the Criterion Collection, we've got David Cronenberg's Videodrome. Long live the new flesh. Like several of the other movies in this video, I was able to pick this one up for I think 50% off on Amazon. I think that's a great deal, especially when the movie turns out to be pretty good. I really enjoyed this one whenever I watched it, and even though it's from 1983, I think the concept felt new and different than anything that I've seen in quite some time. If you don't know, I love practical effects when they're used in horror movies, and Videodrome has some great ones. Of course, the Criterion release comes with all kinds of special features that I'll probably never watch, but overall, I really enjoyed this one. I'm happy to have it in the collection, and it's one that I'll be watching again. That's all that I've got for you today. If you made it to this point in the video, thanks so much for watching. Do all the things, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.